this part because of one simple question. And I not only that one, so it is not like I didn't feel like it is unnecessarily I took a lot of time we wasted in this one. It is not like that. Okay, GI mod installation also important, lot of options. If I said install yourself means you don't may not understand. And okay, second one is whatever it is installation, if you read carefully one by one step, if you look at the step, you will understand what to do. Okay, very simple. Installation is for a person who is completely new to it or very well known it. Everything is same only, just you have to look at the option and select options carefully. That's it. What options you have to select. No need of confusion, nothing is there, just look at and select the option. That is very important. If something is happened, no problem, because you are creating a virtual machine, guys. What are you do mistakes for a virtual machine, it's a mistake for that virtual machine only. It nothing will happen to your physical machine. Nothing will happen to your physical machine, so be careful. But it's okay. Do create a virtual machine, install operating system, you miss something in that one, no problem. If it is not working, you will create another virtual machine. If you have a lot of virtual machine non-working machines, no problem, we can delete that one also. So that is what I'm trying to say it. Okay, so can we do GI mode or CLI mode? We are all having CLI modes only, right? So we have a CLI modes. Yeah, minimal we have. So we'll see. And also it is answer for Arish question also. Guys, yesterday when I try to install a machine, so then I put a 4 GB. Why I put a 4 GB? For faster installation only. So here it is 4 GB memory, processor is 1, hard disk is 200 GB, and CD-ROM still it is there, and network is VMnet 0. And here in this one, edit VMnet, VM network editor, change settings. Yes. Okay, so VMnet 0, and it is bridged to my Wi-Fi adapter. Make sure that it's in a Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, so normal it is in automatic mode, and my Wi-Fi I connected with the Wi-Fi, so I selected a Wi-Fi adapter. If I connected with Ethernet, so then I will check the Ethernet. How do you know? You have to go to network settings. That is we know. Okay, first one. Second one is edit virtual machine settings. For installation purpose only, I use a 4 GB. Now I don't require it. 1 GB is more than enough for a minimal version run. 512 is also good, no problem. If you can put a 512, no problem. But I put a 1 GB, so smooth working will be there. Okay, 1 GB RAM for my virtual machine. So what I done? It is a 4 GB. So here I selected a 1 GB. Click OK. Now it is a 1 GB RAM. Power on the virtual machine. Same as you I showed in a, see here it is, first line. Okay, no need to disturb it, automatically it will turn on. So no problem. Guys, just like your GI mod, like a GI mod we have a 7 screens are there, F1, F2, F3, F4, but minimal also having a 7 screens. I'm not going to show you that 7 screen because everything is in a black. Okay, so first of all I want to log in as a root only here. So see how much fast it is came. So login, type root. Okay, when you press enter, it is asking for a password. Give the password. Admin at the rate 123. Lot of people will get a doubt. What why they are getting a doubt also? Because when you type a password, it is not showing any sign. Like a at least star, like a character, dots, something should be shown. It is not showing anything. Then we don't know whether you are type a correct or not. So be careful while you are typing a password. If you do mistake, it's a mistake. Okay, so this is your root. If you want to check who am I, you can check it like that, guys. Okay, and it is not much flexible one. It is not a flexible one. So I want to access this machine in a remotely. So first of all, I will check what is the IP address of this machine. What is the IP address of this machine? So general command is ipconfig. Generally, the command is ipconfig, which won't work here. Okay, ipconfig is a command to check the IP address. Next command is ipaddr. What happened? Yeah, ifconfig. If config or ifconfig. Correct, correct. Sorry, I said ipconfig, right? In ipconfig command in a Windows. If config or ifconfig is in Linux. Very good. Thank you. Okay, if config is a command to check the IP address, but that command won't work here up to now. Okay, so another command is ipaddr or IP address. That is enough. So we got a IP address, and it is showing LO and ENS33. Can you able to see LO and ENS33 or not? One is a LO and two is a ENS33. Yes, this is important, so that's why I'm telling.
So where, sir?
On the screen, I put a IPADDR command. There you can see one and a two. The one LO, two ENS33. Okay, I'll put a clear. Check. I'll put a clear. Okay. Can you able to see the my Linux screen or not? Right, small letters. That's why I just, that's all. Okay. Now I'm typing IP ADDR. Can you able to see or not?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'm pressing enter. Now you got some output. Left side, like one colon is there. Can you see one number?
Yes, sir.
One LO. That is LO, not 10. It is LO. Loop back. Up, lower, up. MTU 65536. That's the first line I'm reading. Can you see that one or not? One colon, LO, colon, loop back,
Yes,
up,
sir.
lower up, right? That is loop back adapter. We don't require now. Go to second one, two colon, ENS 33, broadcast, multicast, up, lower up, MTU 1500. Can you see?
Sir, IP address of what, sir? Like connected device.
I didn't ask any question. I asked only simple. Can you able to see two colon ENS 33 colon broadcast multicast up lower up MTU like that? That line can you able to see or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No? What is the next line? Link slash either 00 colon 0C 29 08 E4 AF. That is a MAC address. Okay. Next line, inet 192.168.29.215/24. So can you see that line or not? inet
Yes.
129 168.168.29.215. Okay, so that is my PC IP address, my virtual machine IP address, my Linux PC IP address. Okay, so what is my Linux PC IP address? I put a command AP here, then it's showing 2 colon. Important is ENS33. Okay, ENS33, and you will know this is an adapter because it's asking like a broadcast, multicast kind of stuff. Like while looking at, you will understand what it is. This is my original adapter. Okay, and it is showing an IP address like inet kind of stuff, right? So that is IP address IPv4 192.168.29. See, 29 215. This is my IP address of my Linux PC. If you want, I will show you another command also. Put nmcli. nmcli. Another command is nmcli. So here you can also see ENS33 connected to ENS33, and there is a inet4 192.168.29.215/24. So that is my IP address, and other details also it is showing. Okay, you can see other details. NMCLI show device show, NMCLI kind of stuff. Guys, got it or not? How to check the IP address? Okay, there are common commands. Or like sorry, close this one.
Sir, 1 second, sir.
Yeah. The common commands are if config. This is one of the command. Now it is not working. It will work later. I will show you how to work it, but not now. This is one command. Next is this is another command. Another command nmcli I told. Okay. I am putting a clear here. Clear means it clear the screen. Okay, because so many things are there. You can do directly, no problem. So without a clear, guys, check your IP address. Note down your IP address on your notes or a notepad. When are you doing it? Okay. Can I go next point, guys? Do you understand how to check IP address of your Linux machine?
Sir, 1 second, repeat, sir.
Once again, repeat. Okay. Put a command IP addr. Can I press enter or not? It's small letters, right? So that's why it is can't able to see properly. Guys, don't do parallel.
Excuse
If
me,
you do
sir.
parallel, it will confuse. Yeah, tell me, tell me.
Sir, how can we change from local host to admin, sir?
Local host.
Yes, it is showing a local host, so we have to change to admin, no?
What is local host you are getting?
So the dollar symbol.
1 second. Someone send us something. There is a connection problem. Someone tried it. Even I don't know. Guys, you have to put some name when you are sending a message through WhatsApp. Or put it in the group, at least we will understand. Okay, someone like a 96735 31219 Mukul. Okay, Mukul, you got a problem with maybe a network issue. Okay, it can be a network issue. So check the network connections whether it's correct or not, and I will tell one more point also. If you got that kind of stuff, first of all, make sure that vmnet 0 properly connected or not. That is very important. Okay, through physical network only you are getting an IP address, so make sure that vmnet 0 you are connected. Second one is go to edit, virtual network editor, change settings, click on yes. If you are using a laptop Wi-Fi, then select Wi-Fi adapter. Already I told. So make sure that network must be correct. Network problem solved. Any server, guys, Linux, Windows Server, anything. Network is a main important. So without a network understanding, means without a correct network you are configuring, you cannot troubleshoot any problem. First, networking is important. Okay. So go to VMnet 0 bridged, and I selected my Wi-Fi. So select yours. If you got a problem, I will solve it is in afternoon. Okay, don't worry. Next, you're asking like when you are logging with the root, and it should show local. It is showing a local host. I think local host showing like this one for you. Root at the rate localhost, right? Guy who is asking question, that is you are getting a local host. So you are getting root at the rate localhost, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That meaning is localhost means your machine name. So I am not getting localhost. Why? Why I'm getting CTS 9 Linux 1?
Okay.
When I installed,
That's very much.
when I installing, I changed my name. Type hostname command. Command is what is this?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So in my Linux host name, what is my host name? CTS9 Linux 1 example.com. Okay, in your machine it shows localhost.local domain, correct? Type host name without space. I will type here, see,
CPA.
host
Yes,
name.
sir. Linux.
So this is host name command. So if you type host name, it will show you your host name. Okay, so it won't show you. If it is showing localhost, means you didn't change the name when you are installing. You can change it, no problem. You can change it. The command is like this. If you want to change it, okay, it is not compulsory to change also, but command is hostname cdl set hostname, and you put a your hostname, complete hostname. Okay. But I am already having a name, so I don't want to disturb it. So otherwise I will disturb it. CTS9 Linux CLI dot example dot com. Now what is my host name? My host name is changed. Note down the command, guys. How to change host name? Note down the command. When you see the command and when I show a working command, first note down, then only try, and listen carefully before you try. Okay, guys, I already told you can do anything you want, no problem. If you do mistake, no problem. But if you want to do correctly, it means like don't do blindly.
Sir, once again repeat, sir. Host name change.
Yeah, see the screen. Note down the command. To check the host name is a command. To check the host name is a command. To change the host name in 7. Okay, in 7 means Enterprise Linux 7, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS 7, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7. EL7 means Enterprise Linux 7. Any 7 version of Linux. Okay. This is the command. Hostname CTL. Set hostname and give the hostname. So I give a name. My name is CTS9. So Linux CLI dot example dot com. So I given like this, and I verified my hostname is changed or not. Okay. So how to check the host name? Host name. Okay. EL7 is not a command, guys. EL7 not a command. EL7 means what is EL7? Enterprise Linux 7. EL7 means Enterprise Linux 7. Okay. So meaning is if you are using Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, CentOS 7, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7, like that, Fedora Enterprise Linux 7, meaning is that one. These are almost same commands only, almost same commands for all these things. Maybe for a Debian or a Ubuntu commands may different. Okay, for them it is a command is different, but Enterprise Linux means it's a server operating system. Okay, and this is the command to change your host name. Okay. Yeah, my voice is little bit louder, or maybe it's like a some kind of like scolding type of voice. Okay, but I'm a very peaceful person. You can interact easily. No worry, guys. Next one. Listen carefully because we have to close. It's already 1 o'clock. Yesterday I told this one. Um, yeah, someone got a problem. Then also problem we should troubleshoot it, and then I will tell this one. Okay. So what is the problem is facing? Is facing like you cannot get a IP address after typing IP ADDR or any command. Okay, he's not getting IP address. He's getting only one and two only. So like that one. So what to do? So the first one I told, troubleshoot your network connection. Troubleshoot your network connection. After troubleshooting network connection, still it is not getting. What to do? I will tell two commands to do it for first time users. So you can use this command like this. Okay. Normally when you start your computer, automatically can see identify like you put a ap idr, the second one ens 33, but it is not showing any ip address. It is not showing any proper ip address. So what to do? If down ens 33, if up ens 33, if down means you are disabling adapter. In our network also we will get some problem, right? Here it is like your network is not connecting properly. You are not getting ip address properly. Connection is there, connection is there, but you are not getting ip address properly. So what you will do? You're going to disable the adapter. Okay, guys, don't do this one. I'm showing, that's it. Okay, don't do in your system, you will disconnect it. Okay, I'm enabling it. Okay, like this. Disable, enable to make ip address come again. Normally it is a general troubleshooting thing. Same thing in a linux. If down means you're disabling ns33. If up, if up for enabling your adapter. Why we should know how to know it is ens33 or not? Because already we done a command here. Okay, this is one troubleshooting. Second type of troubleshooting is service network restart. Okay, service network restart or a system ctl. First of all, you have to check the status of your network or a network manager. System ctl restart network. Okay, start or restart a network, or you can stop it and restart it. Want to see how to do it? Guys, look at here. System ctl status network. Sometimes it won't work also. Okay, command is correct, network is correct or not, we don't know. So it is showing active. Can you see active in a green color, guys? Yeah, that
Yes,
means
sir.
my adapter is active. My network service is active. Not adapter, network service is active. Then I'm going to restart. Instead of status, I put a restart. Okay, if it is not active, then you may require to start. Instead of restart, put a start. That's it. Restart. After all the network kind of stuff is done, okay, then you can check the IP address. Then you can, after restart done, check the IP address. Are you getting IP address or not? This is very important troubleshooting in a Linux networking related troubleshooting. Only one part I told. There are a lot of things to troubleshoot is also there. Okay, up to now, okay or not? Network related troubleshooting. This is the world command, works for everywhere. This system ctl Guys, when you see a CTL, it is EL7 and above. This EL7 and above. This is EL6, EL5, Enterprise Linux 5, Enterprise Linux 6 kind of stuff. We use this command. Okay, both are same commands, but it is in Enterprise Linux 7. This is the lower editions. This command work in 7 also, no problem. In 8 it may not work. Guys, understand this command or not? Can you able to see the command or not? You can try, no problem. If you got a problem, then it is a problem. Currently, we are not doing anything now, so at least okay or not?
Yeah, sir. It's
Okay, check the status, restart. Like a service of network will restart, then maybe problem may solved. Next, as per your syllabus. So guys, I'm putting it clear, so then screen will be clear. Okay, as per your syllabus, there is a TUI commands also there. I already showed GUI, graphical user interface, and this is CLI, command line interface. What is this TUI? We'll see. You know NMCLI, network management CLI. You know NMCLI, right? I'm showing NMTUI. NMTUI. I typed NMTUI command there. Okay. NMCLI, network manager CLI command. NMTUI, text user interface, network management related only. We'll see what to do. NMTUI. Can I go or not? NMTUI. I'm pressing enter, guys. Look at the screen. See, this is TUI. So you will get this kind of stuff. Sometimes the connections may not active. Maybe you want to assign IP address manually. Maybe you want to change your host name. See those options: edit a connection, activate a connection, and set a host name. You want to change host name, you can go to this option, and also you can change the host name. No problem. Edit a connection.
like Turbo C.
It's look like a turbo C. Very good.
Yes.
It looks like a turbo C. It is TUI, Network Manager TUI, Text User Interface, or a text-based user interface. A terminal user interface. Terminal user interface. Okay. So I'm going to edit a connection. So I select edit, enter. Use up arrow, down arrow, and use enter button kind of stuff. Escape like that. Edit a connection. ENS33 showing. Very good. Now it is not a full screen one, no? So that's why you have to like see. Last one is a back. This is add or a edit. Okay, edit. So this is my network connection. You can see it is a Ethernet. Device name is ENS33. IPv4 configuration, automatic configuration. Go to show. And this is automatic. You want to change it to manual connection. We can use as a manual, like manual. And you have to give address. Manually, you should give a IP address. I don't do it. Okay. Mainly, especially now, I don't do anything. Okay. So like if you want to change anything, you can change it, or you can revert it to back. Okay. So this is also we can manage the network related kind of stuff. Okay. So we can edit the IP address. If you want to edit manually, also you can able to edit it. For example, I'm using a VMnet 1. Compulsory I have to give IP address manually. I have two hosts are there. I don't want any physical network interaction. I want to make communicate between two hosts. So you can use manual thing. Set a system, yeah, host name, changing quite easy, right? You don't need a command to learn. This is the one of the network NMTUI advantage. Quit Quit. Now I got a screen in a bottom after blue screen. So it is a bottom, you can see there is a command line. Here it is like this. I put a clear. Clear is a command to clear the screen. Clear is a command to the clear the screen. Guys, networking related okay or not? If you got a problem, afternoon we'll going to solve it, or maybe evening I can solve it. Okay. If you have a problem, then we'll see what is the problem in that one. Up to now, okay or not? Network related, how to check the IP address or not?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Clear.
Next, and there is a Harish question is also there. That is very important. Last time I told that one. Guys, any server, Linux is a server first of all. Any server, we put them into a server room. In generally, servers are we cannot access physically until unless if there is a importance to access the physical servers. Not only as servers, guys, routers, switches, storage devices, okay, firewalls. These are all they put in a server room. They put in a server room only. Only physically accessed allowed people only can able to access these machines directly, like a main administrators, okay, certain only a particular administrators only can able to access physically. There is a certain rules and regulations also there. Oh, comments in WhatsApp group. Okay, we'll see that one later. Okay, comments are so simple. Only thing is we will forget it very fast. Okay, so accessing this firewall, router, switches, storage devices, servers, Linux servers, Windows servers, maybe Citrix servers, anything we can say. Okay, the servers. If you are accessing, usually we access the servers through network only. Through network only. Okay, I have a laptop and it is connected to a network and my server is in my server room, so I have to access through network on. If you are accessing like that, that is called a in band. In band, so it is little bit out of kind of stuff. Okay, in band or in bond, both you can say. In band or in bond also you can say. In band means you are accessing through network. You are accessing through network. For example, you are some important administrator. One second. Okay. If you are went inside to the server room, and you are accessing a server directly, so that is called a out of band. What is the meaning of band here now? In the network. Band means in the network. So if you are accessing through network means in band. If you are accessing directly a server or a network device or a storage device or a firewall, it is out of band. Directly you are accessing. Physical server you are accessing directly. Okay. Out of band you need a monitor, right? You need a monitor connection. In band you need a network connection and there is a tools. Look at here. There is a few tools or a few protocols. First we have to use it. Protocols. What are the protocols we use for remote access? Telnet. Telnet is a one of the remote access protocol. Another one is SSH. Another one is RDP. Okay, another one is RDP. Guys, anybody will tell Telnet port number? SSH port number? 9, guys. 22. RDP port number. Okay. Not only this, also we can access through VNC. Just like there is a VNC softwares are there. Okay. Like a real VNC. Okay. Tiger VNC. Okay. What I said, like a Tiger VNC. Okay. Tiger VNC. VNC softwares are there. So different type of VNC servers and all it is there. Okay. So using that we can able to access our remote machines. So usually if I have a Linux machine here, my Linux is there. This is a Linux one. I want to access the Linux one from here. So I use a SSH. Okay. For example, I want a Windows server is there here. My Windows server. I want to access the Windows server from here. I use RDP. Okay. Remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop protocol. Secure socket layer. Okay. So these are the protocols. Using the protocols, you can able to access the remote machines. Okay. In generally, Linux server in the server room, the access we are accessing, right, Linux server. Our machine, our physical machine is Windows machine only. General Windows machine, Windows 7, Windows or Windows 10, we have a Windows machine only. Okay. Windows machine or a terminal machines, there is another type of machines also there. So whatever it is, mostly we are accessing our Linux machine using SSH. Using SSH only, remotely we are accessing it. It's a CLI mode only. Okay. Guys, understand this concept? Remote access. Use protocols. What are the protocols we use it, guys? What protocols we use to access the remote servers?
RDP,
Very good.
Telnet, SSH.
Very good. Already extra I told VNC, like a real VNC. It's a software. Tiger VNC. A lot of VNC softwares are there, so don't worry about it. So you can Google it. RDP port number I told. Anyone? Double three double nine. 89, not double nine. Okay. Now what? Telnet.
23.
23. Very good. SSH. 22. Very good. Very good. You already learned three protocols. That is enough. Not enough. Okay. But that's a good thing. I just told and you are told answer. That's a good thing. Okay. To access remote servers, these are the things. Now we have a Linux PC. In a Linux, we usually use SSH. SSH means secure socket. Sorry, secure shell. Secure secure shell. Okay. SSH means secure shell. So what here do, think like this. This is my Linux 1 PC. This is my Linux 1 PC. In this PC, what I'm going to do is I'm putting these commands. SSH hyphen keygen. This is the command. Okay. This is the command I have to put it. First, I have to generate a key. How to generate a key. So in this key, there is a two keys are there: private key, public key. Actually, we have to give the public key to the others, so then they will contact us. Okay. So don't get confused. Before you do, put a command called ls space hyphen a. Okay. So I will show you how to do it. ls space hyphen a. These are files and directories in my current directory. ls shows Now only showing anaconda hyphen ks dot cfg. But when I put a ls space hyphen a, it is showing so many files, and all the files and directories having a dot. Dot is there because it's a hidden files. Hyphen a ls space hyphen a all files in the current directory. All files. Hyphen a means all files including hidden files. Got it? Hyphen a represent all files. Okay. Next. SSH hyphen keygen. It will generate a key. There is a two keys it will generate. One is a public key and another one is a private key. SSH keygen. Press enter. And it is asking which file you want to do it, all the kind of questions it will ask. No need to do anything, guys. We don't require that much of security kind of stuff. Just press enter only. All the default things only we are using. Generating public and private RSA key. RSA is a one algorithm, security algorithm. Okay. Passphrase nothing, just enter like this only. So RSA 2048 security displaying, and you can see key fingerprint is SHA 256, and there is a some name is there now, that is your encryption footprint, fingerprint. It's like a key. It is like a key. Okay. So it is encryption way. SSH is a more secure than a telnet. SSH and Telnet both are a remote access protocols through the command lines, but SSH is a secured one is a compared to Telnet. Why? Because SSH has a encryption. Telnet no encryption. So you want again? So I will see. So we use Telnet and SSH. Okay, Telnet no encryption. No encryption. SSH. Okay, encryption is there. So there is SHA hashing algorithm is 256. Use RSA 2048. Later you can search in a Google. So what is this encryption sender? Okay. So it uses this kind of encryptions. Okay. SSH key generator. Press enter only. Now I put a ls space hyphen a. Can you see dot ssh folder is appear in a blue color. Small letters. Carefully look at ls space hyphen a dot ssh is appear now because it's created now. Okay. ls space dot ssh, you can see two files. Dot pub means it's a public file, and id underscore rsa, that meaning is it's a private key. First one is a private key, next one is a public key, and we don't do anything, just we generated or not, that's enough. Okay, not required. For every user it stores in your user base. We are in a root. Okay, we are in a root. We store in a user base. For every user you must generate a sss key is better always. Okay, if you want to change it also, you can change it also, no problem, guys. Okay, so this is the thing. I generated ssh key. So what I done after this one, I put a ls space hyphen a and ls space dot ssh. Okay, this part is completed. Next part, putty part, guys. From our Windows machine or any other machine means the machine here can be Windows, can be Linux, no problem. If it is a Linux, direct SSH connection. If it is a Windows, you have to use some command lines kind of stuff. So what I am going to do is I am going to download Putty, Putty, Putty download for Windows 10. Okay, anything, no problem. Putty.org. Click here. download putty tty. First one, download putty tty. Click here. Okay, download this this putty.exe. Don't download this msi. Download putty.exe. 64-bit, anyway we are using 64-bit and our system is Intel system. You can download this one. Okay, if you are using ARM type of system, then you can download this one. This is for 32. Okay, download putty.exe. Okay, I'm giving these links also. Okay, download always putty.exe. Make sure 64-bit. Okay, 32 also no problem. Anything you can download, but download this one only. Anything you can download, but download this one only. Just click here, it will be downloaded. I'm just click on it. Okay, so it is mine is will download with a location. So like once you download, save it on a desktop. Once you download, save it on a desktop. Okay, and make a one or two copies, like a right click copy kind of stuff also. So I'm saving on a desktop. See, I'm saving on a desktop. Putty.exe. Okay, and when you download, after downloading, just save it on your desktop. Okay, so don't worry. So this is my putty. Can you able to see the things in your screen? My screen, putty.exe. Guys, can you see the putty.exe here?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So open the putty. Okay. Of course, I done a lot of things here. So there is so many names are there for me. No problem. Which connection I need? SSH. Okay, which connection you required, you can connect with that one. This is a very simple application. Okay, based on that you can choose anything, like you want a telnet, you want a R login, you want something like this raw connection. So new connections are there, but mainly we are connecting with a SSH. Okay, next, host name or IP address. You can't access with the names anyway, so IP address is important. What is my Linux PC IP address? What is my Linux PC IP address? 192.168.29.215, which is already I copied here. So it is quite easy, right? Otherwise, you have to type it. No problem. You can type it also. I'm little lazy. Okay. So give the IP address SSH, and this is the IP address. Okay. Someone put a question. Yeah, very good. Sumit asked a good question. So this IP is a constant for every time. Maybe, may not be. There is a possibility. So better. Anyway, we are starting a machine. So when your machine is started, so better to check the IP address, then login. If it is same or not. Okay. It may changes. It depends upon your current network, because it is IP address is coming from DHCP server, like Wi-Fi router you are getting. Okay. It may change, it may not be changed. So compulsory verify the IP address. Okay, like that. Okay, guys. So I give an IP address and I click on open. Okay, why I cancel it? because I want you to tell me what to do now. I want a connect. I want to connect my Linux PC. I want to connect to my Linux PC from my Windows machine using PuTTY. So tell me the what are the steps you have to do. Linux side and Windows side. Start with Linux side. What to do from Linux side? I will tell first step. Only once you have to do SSH keygen. Enter, enter, enter. That's it. Next step is check the IP address. How to check the IP address, guys? In this machine,
NMCLI. ADDR.
okay, or NMCLI, and there is IP address or not? ENS33 IP address is there or not?
INET 192.
Yeah, it is there, right? Now, what to do? Note down the IP address. Note down the IP address. Next, next, download the PuTTY. Download the PuTTY. Go to PuTTY website. Download the PuTTY. Already downloaded. So we don't need to download every day, right? Once you download it, save it on a desktop. No need to install. No need to install. So I'm opening PuTTY. This is my PuTTY. Now tell me what to do. I have IP address. I have a PuTTY. I have a Linux running condition. What to do?
Connection type. Connection type.
Connection type SSH. Very good. Next.
IP address. IP address.
This is my IP address because already I note down that IP address. So next, click on a open.
Oh.
Okay, open. For first time, I am directly telling the options. Okay, here it is. It will ask three options: cancel, connect, accept. Okay, connect once or accept. So either you can choose anything. If you click on accept, this message won't appear again and again when you are connecting. When you are connecting, this message won't appear again and again. This connect once means this message appear again and again. For each machine, for each IP address, this message will come up. This is a key sharing message. This is the key sharing message. You can see servers key. Okay, and also you can read if you accept connect once. What is the power? I click on accept. I click on accept. You can click accept or connect once. It is your wish. I click on accept. Now, can you see log on as? I type root and root password is admin at the rate 123. Still, it is not showing anything. So, this is my Linux PC. I will get all the data here, guys. So, here in this one, I can log into my Linux PC. Before I close, I will tell one more point, that is click on this computer side. Right click on this computer side. Go to change settings. Go to change settings. Okay. Select appearance. This is showing a 10 points. Select appearance 10 points. It is showing change it to bold, font style bold, and here it is 10 points, right? I make it this one as a 18 or 20 also okay. You can put a 14, 16 also okay. I am putting 18 or 20. Okay, click OK. Next, I am going to the colors also. I am going to colors. Default foreground means the text appearance is foreground is not required. No need to do all these things. Just click on appearance only. I change it to 20 points. Click apply. So can you see the screen? Now it is good, right? Is it looking good?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, like that. You can change the screen sizes also. You can, whenever I type, it is visibility is good. If you don't like this text, like a background is black color, text size is like a yellow color. If you don't like this one, also you can change the colors. Like same thing. Right click on this corner, go to settings, color section, foreground, background color section. So foreground, you can put a white color. Bold for sorry foreground, right? You can put a black in a 4, bold 4 also black. First two are black, third one is white. First two are black, third one is white. So you can see the screen changes. So make it more comfortable for your eyes, so then you can able to view it. So this is, guys, this is called a putty access, like that. If you click put a exit, the putty will close. If you put a exit, putty closes, but your virtual machine not closes. I want to show you once again. That's why I put a exit. See, virtual machine not closed. Virtual machine still it is there. Okay. Again I'm open putty. I'm typing a IP address. Every time typing an IP address is little bit problem. So what I'm going to do is I've saved this one. CTS 9 CLI. Yeah, put a CLI. CTS 9 CLI 1. Okay. Or maybe I put a last IP 215 CTS 9 CLI. This name. What are the name I want to save it? Appearance is a 10 points. I'm changing it. Bold 18 or 20 is also okay. 20 is better for me. Colors foreground black. First two are black. I said first are blacks only. Background is white. So I changed my colors. Foreground bold, foreground black. Background is a white. Appearance is 20 points. Go to session, IP address, name. Click on save now. Click on a save. Click on a save. Okay, you can open it directly or you can cancel it also, no problem. Okay, open. See, it is open directly. Okay, so I adjust my screen size. Root. Type the password for a root. Okay, now put a who am I? Sorry, who is enough? Guys, why this is the advantage? Think, think. Your server, your Linux server in the server room. If you cannot access the directly server room, right? So you have to access with the remotely. So what we are using? PuTTY SSH protocol. Okay. Second one is for your system. You want to do multiple practicals. You need a multiple windows, so you can easily open. See, this is one PuTTY. I'm going to another PuTTY. Same here. Okay. I open a PuTTY. Scroll down or up. So this is the I saving, right? Load. Click on a load. It is APRC. Because I saved the settings, automatically it is APR. I click on a load. By selecting this one, I click on a load. It is APR. Click open. Okay. Adjust your screen. I given a student one as a name, and password is also student one. Okay. See, student. Who? How many user? One is root, another is also root, another is one student one. So three users are logging here. Okay. Mainly in my Windows desktop, one root, another one is a student. Simply I can do all the practicals from here. Guys, understand how to access it or not? I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
okay. So this is about your SSH. How to turn off your Linux machine from here, because it's a root. We have all rights. Type power off. Enter. So of course your putty is also will inactive. Inactive means connection is down or Linux is down. Inactive means network connection is down or your Linux is down. Okay. So you look at, it is already shut down. Already shut down. So this is it, guys, for a putty access. Guys, again 3 o'clock. Class is at 3 o'clock again. So meanwhile, set everything. Any doubts? You can ask me 3 o'clock. We'll set first lab setup. Commands are very simple. Okay.